Legends Champions Korea Spring 2015. Chober here to introduce the players. We will have a chance to talk to them. Of course, we just saw them enter the stage. It's going to be GE Tigers versus SK Telecom T1, and some saucy trash talk going back and forth between the two teams, both looking very confident and both going for a perfect record in one half of the season each, splitting it nicely half and half, but GE Tigers did finish overall in first place. And there's Nofe on your screen, the head coach of GE Tigers, an ex-Najin jungler. And a lot of people crediting the success of GE Tigers to Nofe and his strategic diversity of superiority
프로게이머 2년
and his
생활을 하면서
experience
가장
as a
꿈꾸던 게 사실 결승
professional player
무대였거든요. 네,
himself.
그때는 뭐 포킹리신 소리 들으면서 많이 힘들었는데.
Yeah, well, it feels good because as a player, I've always dreamt of coming onto the final stage. And unfortunately, I never really had a chance to stand in this glory. And I always actually got made fun of kind of my poking Lee Sin because I would always miss my cues. But able to come here, even as a coach, feels great to stand here with my players.
예, 많이 힘들었습니다. 네.
And there is the head coach for SK Telecom T1 talking about, well, it's been so long since we've been to the finals. And it's really been some dark times for SK Telecom. But, because it's been so long, I actually think, in some ways we feel a little better. We feel a little bit more comfortable rather than having that pressure of always needing to win. We're coming in with just our own form, and we feel pretty good. And Caster Jun poking some fun at him, telling him he looks really red and super nervous. But he says, no, I think I'm okay. Maybe it's because I didn't get my makeup on from the makeup artist coming onto stage here. So the head coach is both looking pretty confident, feeling pretty good. Well, let's hear from the players if we do get a chance. Lee's holding the mic right there, but here we go, Nofe first.
솔직히 양보다는 질로 상대하는 게 당연하다고 생각을 하고. 솔직히 후레쉬맨도 후레쉬맨 맞나? 네, 솔직히 5명의 정예 멤버가 저는 훨씬 강력하다고 생각을 하기 때문에
SK Telecom T1 and their bench players are just saying, hey,
저는
come
저희
on.
5명이 충분히 더 화력이 강하다고 생각합니다.
I think first of all, it's your core members that really matter. Your bench players, I'm not so sure. Also, I think just our players are more tight-knit. I think we're going to stand stronger while we play here at the Grand Finals.
일단 뭐 양이 많은 것도 중요하지만 질과 양이 같이 많으면은
Well, you say that quality is better than quantity, but what if we have the better quality and the quantity? I mean, we have more players, and what if they're all better than the GE Tigers? Then it doesn't really matter which one's more important, does it?
쌓인 것 같고요. 그리고 또 핑계도 되게 많이 되는 것 같아요.
The coach,
예,
the expert for SK
2라운드 때
Telecom T1.
저희한테도 졌을 때 뭐 예비군 이야기를 했었는데, 예.
Koma saying, well, listen, GE Tigers. I mean, first of all, I'm not too pleased to hear from you guys, and you guys seem to make a lot of excuses. For instance, when you lost to us in the second round of the regular season, your excuse was, oh, well, I had to go to training for military. Nofe, you said that because you weren't there, you guys didn't really get to practice as much. Excuse me? Like, I've never made that mistake. I used to go on shows all the time for OCN. I had to fulfill my duties as a citizen too, but I never made that mistake, or those excuses rather, as I was a coach. So don't think those excuses are going to fly anymore here at the Grand Finals. Nofe responds by saying, well, Koma, I was reading an interview recently, and it really doesn't sound like you're putting a lot of effort into your picks and bans. I think you're slacking a lot in that department, so let me show you how it's done. And quite frankly, you're too predictable. I mean, your picks and bans are a little too obvious. I almost wonder if you put any time into that at all. I feel like your brain's a little empty in that aspect. That's Nofe just laying it down on Koma today.
근데 항상 GE 팀을 보면은 뭐 지면은 좀 선수가
for the GE Tigers,
뭐 아무튼 이기면은 정노철 선수,
whenever you
지면 선수 탓으로
lose,
가는데
it seems to always be the blame on the players, and then when you win, you take the credit as a coach. So quite frankly, if you're taking all the good credit and the players are getting all the blame, I don't think you guys are going to last long as a good team. And now we will get to hear from the players. First, it's Lee, the jungler of G Tigers. I mean, the coaches are just going at it.
G 타이거즈의 정글 겸 주장을
No
맡고 있는 리 이호진이라고
Just taking a
합니다.
lot of jabs at Koma. Koma just looking a little bit irked, but Koma seems to have, the idea that he just wants to prove it here on Summoner's Rift through his players.
네, 어린 선수라서 아직 잘 무대의 무서움을 모르시는 것 같은데 제가 오늘 나이값 제대로 보여드리도록 하겠습니다.
Lee talking back to Tom about the trash talk he had in the pregame interview. Listen, I don't think you really understand what it takes to be on stage, what it takes to be a captain, because you're too young. I know you're just a kid, so let me teach you some lessons
그 정도
today.
해야 되지 않나요?
And of course, talking about the SK Telecom's last match here, where they went Tom and then Bengi 3 in a row to finally crawl into the finals.
렉사이가 약간 사기긴 한데 리 선수가 잘 쓸진 잘 모르겠어요.
And of course, Lee was taking a jab at Bengi, saying, "Well, your Rek'Sai. I mean, isn't that kind of basics for any pro jungler?" And Bengi saying, "Well, Rek'Sai is pretty OP, but your Rek'Sai, not so sure. You're a little bit questionable."
3대1 할 것 같습니다.
And Lee saying, "Well, if I get Rek'Sai, it's going to be pretty easy. But even if I don't get Rek'Sai, I'm pretty sure we can get those 3 wins easily in the start of the match." Bengi looking a little bit flustered, so we're going to hand over the mic to Tom, see if he can respond to Lee.
안 들려서요.
Tom, yeah, I couldn't really hear much because of the speakers, the overhead speakers. He's not used to the stage, for sure. Lee calling him out on that correctly. Tom's first time on a stage like this.
오늘 버스 못 타실 것 같아요, 리님.
I said it. I'll say it again. I really don't think you're going to be able to get on that bus for the G Tigers and ride it to victory. You're going to miss your train, basically.
네, 안녕하세요. 저는 SK T1의 탑솔러 겸
And here
부장을 맡고
is
있는
Marin, the
장경환이라고
captain
합니다.
of SK Telecom T1. So Lee, of course, was the captain for the G Tigers as jungler, but Marin, the captain for SK Telecom T1.
네, 일단 저희 팀은
How are you guys feeling? I mean, there's a lot of
결승도
responsibility as a
경험했고,
captain, and sometimes you take a lot of the
긴장 안
blame.
했는데 오히려 G팀 분들이 아까 청심환도 먹고 막 긴장 많이 하셨더라고요.
Well,
오늘 긴장 말고 좀
I think we feel pretty good. I think we're very confident. We used to be
긴장 많이 하신 것 같더라고요.
a little bit nervous in here and there, but I think coming in today,
we
I was looking at the G Tigers backstage, and oh wow, like they were drinking supplemental drinks, just like making sure there they go, they're admitting to it that they, just to calm their nerves down, to help with their nerves. And Marin calling them out, hey, if you guys are that nervous, then I don't know. I don't think you guys can play very comfortably. Meanwhile, the 2 players who have been to the World Championships, Prey and Gorilla, did not drink it.
결승전이 좀 크고
So they seem to be a little bit more confident.
경험이 없기 때문에 저쪽도 좀 먹어야 될 사람 있는 것 같은데.
Prey saying, I mean, yeah, the finals is a pretty big stage, of course. Gorilla and I have experience on a stage like this, but SK Telecom T1, you guys aren't an exception to this. You guys have some players who are pretty new to this. I think you guys need some help too.
네,
Kuro,
동남아나 똑같습니다.
does it work? No, not really. I'm still just as nervous. And of course, Kuro will be playing against Faker. And of course, Easyun also in that mid lane for SK Telecom T1, but Faker's still the highlight of the team.
전략이기 때문에 말할 수는 없지만 풀 수도 있고 안 풀 수도 있습니다.
Oh, wow. Talking about Faker's LeBlanc, Kuro. Well, it's part of our strategic preparation, so I can't say, but hey, we can leave it open, and I'll go against it too, no problem. That's a bold statement for
SKT
the
T1
champion that is 13-0 for Faker, career-wide. And there's Faker himself, still touted by some as the best League of Legends player in the world. Here from Korea, from SK Telecom T1, even when the team wasn't in their prime, Faker always just putting everyone in awe.
저희가 제가 우승해야 되는 큰 이유 중 하나이기도 하고 그렇기 때문에 좀 해외 나가서 좀 다른 선수들보다 제가 잘한다는 걸 좀 보여주고 싶어요.
Well, this final is really important for me because I think it's time again that I need to go to a global event and prove to everyone once again that I am the best in the world. So I want that chance. So I need to win this final to go to MSI.
제 생각에는 안 열어줄 것 같은데
To be honest,
열 수도 있겠죠.
I think he's bluffing. I don't think they will let me pick LeBlanc. But you know, if he wants to step off the stage pretty quickly just by losing, then sure, they'll open it up and I'll take it.
그럼 배내야죠.
Kuro's so honest. Well, what do you think about that? You know, he says you would leave it open only if you want to lose, and Kuro says, well, I guess we should ban it then.
배내야죠. 네.
and Nofe. Yes, no, we definitely should ban
있는데,
it. We definitely should ban it.
사실 페이커 선수의 르바 저희가 정말 좋아하고 실제로 한번 풀었다가 된통 혼났거든요. 그 대처 카드로 저희가 빅토르를 준비를 했었는데 어떻게 글로벌 밴을 들었더라고요.
Yeah, so
이게 운명인가?
let me. It might sound like an excuse, but a little story here. We really like Faker's LeBlanc, and actually once we opened it up for him, and we just got completely owned by that. So it didn't pay off. And then we prepared Victor in response to that, but then Victor went into a phase of being globally banned. So I don't know if we can really take that risk anymore. Well, that's it for the interviews. Everyone, get ready for the match to begin. The grand finals to determine who goes to MSI from Champions Korea Spring 2015. Is it going to be GE Tigers or SK Telecom T1? Let the matches begin with Monte Cristo and Joa.